We have this down tree now. It's in the pathway, so I have to secure my machete and whoop, drag this load of wood that I had on my shoulder underneath this now dead, dying quebracho tree. This tree saw the days when all the valley down here was full of trees bigger than this one. Solo para pasar. To get under this old dead tree. Firewood for the mud oven. Cooking the bread. We need that solar oven, folks. Okay. All right. On the shoulder. Bueno, cheque. Whew. Well, I've been in Honduras for the last year and a half, praying and encountering alignments in different areas of sectors of society throughout the political, the finance, intellectual, and the spiritual sectors of society to form alignments for development of society, where the forest and the environment is honored, and on a practical level, we're looking for entrepreneurs and philanthropists to invest in creating places of work and meditation in areas such as this, on properties owned by native indigenous peoples, to invest finances to create dams and wells and grow moringa trees, create places of refuge and resorts for those that want to come and experience a healthy vacation for a couple of weeks up to a month at a time, to regain their health from the natural plants that the Indians here know how to use to heal various diseases up to cancers, and these are all documented. So, permiso, doggy. There's the mud oven that this wood is going to be burning today. Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. The lady wants the wood dropped over there. I'm going to put it over there and cut it up. So I just dropped this load of wood here. I'll cut it up a little later with my yard tool, my grounds tool. I have in my hand all day. It's never a weapon. Even if one is angry, it's never a weapon. Voy a coger un moringa árbol. Yo olvidé un árbol moringa. I'm heading back. I left the baby moringa tree in a bag. Here's the one that we planted last week. That one's 9 inches tall now. 12 months, it should be 4 meters tall and giving leaves and food, healthy food. For those of you who understand the nutritional value of moringa, like no other plant on the earth. Chickens know, that's why I put these sticks around here, because they like to gobble the leaves. And they leave these other trees alone. And the leaf cutter ants. The plastic bottle was to keep the leaf cutter ants from eating the leaves. And we're in the process of evaluating what plants the leaf cutter ants detest are repellent, so that we can use roots or leaves to, in the initial stages, to protect the moringa trees. So I'm heading back now to where I helped down that big quebracho tree. 150, 200-year-old patriarch. Breaks my heart to cut trees, but they're useful to make yokes for ways to plow the fields, make beams for houses to people to stay out of the weather and have families and family time together. I'm going to give this baby moringa tree to the gentleman that was cutting down the tree. He's going to plant it somewhere on his property, and I'll encourage him to dig a hole a couple feet wide and a couple feet deep and fill it with good soil and put a plastic bottle around it. Perhaps I'll help him. Where's the tree? Up there. We're hoping that corporations and businesses will view these videos, like Trees for Life and Lundberg Farms. My wife's maiden name is Lundberg, Swedish forested mountain. She's a childbirth educator, a wonderful lady, the best. And if Lundberg Farms would be obliged, go to www.theparsonspost.com and sponsor 5 solar ovens to be repaired and installed with groups of women here in Central America. And help plant moringa tree. There's a little moringa tree in there. Sprouted the other day. Let's see if we can. If we can get a better view. Hello, little moringa. Solution to United Nations #1: eradicate poverty and extreme hunger. Hermano, quiero regalar a usted este arbolito de moringa. Tiene en tu propiedad una pila o agua. Este árbol van a crecer como ningún otro árbol, rápido, en un año, 4 metros. Y este arbolito es el más nutrición en la hoja de todos los árboles en el mundo, toda comida, toda la nutrición que necesitan humanos es en este árbol. La hoja tiene 2 tantos de proteína de carne, yogurt, tiene 7 tantos más de vitamina C de naranja, 7 tantos más, es científico, ¿verdad? Y tiene 4 tantos más de calcio de leche, 3 tantos más de potasio de bananos, y todos los vitaminas que tu músculo necesita para desarrollar, y ácidos aminos para el desarrollo de los células. Suyo. Hacer un hoyo como un metro, más de 1 pie ancho y 2 pies hondo, y llenar con buena tierra, y si quiere, es mejor poner una botella de 3 litros de Coca-Cola, cortar así y meter encima para los zompopos, los bandidos. Yo tengo 3 en la propiedad de Esmeralda Rita, con cuidado con las botellas y estacas para los gallinas. Pero el árbol, ahorita yo sembré una semilla la semana pasada, ahorita el árbol es casi 9 pulgadas alto. Rápido, por la nutrición, por las propiedades de la planta, ella crece como ningún otro árbol en la planeta, y las hojas chicas está usando para cocinar con huevos y carne, hacer pan, porque es la solución de hambre. Solo necesitamos sembrar millones y billones de estos árboles en Honduras, y van a llegar las lluvias más y comida, las hojas. Bueno, sembrarlo, cuidar este árbol como porque cortemos uno, sembrar uno.
Sembrar otro.
¿Ah? Bueno, I just encouraged him told him the nutritional value of the moringa tree. Those of you who are not aware of that, you can look up treesforlife.org or just Google moringa, and you'll find that it's an amazing tree that grows only in certain sectors of the earth. And here we are in one of the best places in the world to grow it. We're at about 200 feet above sea level. All year long, it's in the 80 and 90 degrees, sometimes 100 degrees. And sharpening his axe some more. When he was born, he said this whole valley was full of big trees, like más grande de esos. ¿Cuánto más grande? ¿Cómo? Ancho como. Wow. Como este estilo. He remembers when trees couldn't walk around them, couldn't get his arms around them, hundreds of years old. This whole valley was full of them. They just chopped them all down, and they're growing crops full of sprayed with all kinds of things. Forgive us, arble trees. I'm hearing a cloud of little wasps. They don't seem to want to sting me. I guess I'm not a threat to them. Ooh. Honeybee. King rooster and his brood. This is 83-year-old Lion Eagle's home property. This other sector is where the downed trees were, I showed you. In the rainy season, this is a creek running. You can see water down there. It's a spring a little ways up, 6 meters past his property, and the water comes down to this all year long in the dry season. When there's no rain for 7 months, there's always water right here. We cleaned that out of leaves there last week. It's always filling up with leaves. And the water seeps into the ground, into this well, which is about 12 feet deep, and it's always full, and there's a gravity feed down to the lower Pila, because this well is a little bit lower than the house, so gravity feed doesn't hit up to the house. So we're pondering a solution here, whether it's to build a pipe platform and put a hand-designed pump with PVC and ropes. Cost about $250, $300 to make, and build like a gazebo here on top of this well, and a hand pump that'll lift water up through ropes and rope and a circular, like a chain and a rope with every 3 feet or so around 2 knots, and in between the 2 knots will be rubber tubing from a tire, and then a homemade rubber tire wheel that circulates the rope, bringing the water up it's very effective. Perhaps I'll send you a picture of one. This is a Pila they made some time ago, but it wasn't designed right. It's still not high enough to reach the house. So here on this adjacent property, which is, not sure, I think it's like just a little ways up there is where the water bursts and comes down here. It collects here. So actually in this spot where that rock is in front of me, cross over to here, that tree, the design, we're thinking to build a rock wall. We need some sponsors to help with that, to make a little lagoon here, and then actually 3 on this property down to the lower part, three retention walls for preserving the rainwater and this water that continues to seep and get lost, besides that soaks into the well, and to have water all year long for in the lower reservoir area. The idea is to have fish, bass, and an area for visiting teams, and perhaps build a couple of small cabins where foreigners will want to come during the snow season to relax in the beautiful weather and bathe in the creek. And so we have a property here that was in Canada, United States, with year-round, no snow, and able to grow banana trees and sugar cane worth millions and millions. And the owners here are poor Indians with pennies a month. Here's their sugar cane. And some days I cut a sugar cane and peel it and eat the delicious fruit. There's the bananas, but we need to maximize the water. There's water, there's channels of water underneath the ground here to locate and dig wells. And the potential is to turn this into an oasis, like they say in Israel. I've never been in Israel, where they have streams in the desert. That's so here too. There's as you can see, there's water here seeping from the ground, from the rocks. And a short well that was dug. This well could be dug another 20 or 30 meters by hand. Drain the water, and with a generator and a jackhammer and some North Americans that want to work a bit and sweat, eat healthy, and come down and help us dig this well deeper and dig other wells in this community that need your help. How I managed to come upon this land and be invited by the family to live with them and chop wood and haul water was through one of Lion Eagle's 83-year-old Lion Eagle, Native American, one of his 14 daughters. He has 21 children total. One of his 14 daughters that I met when my motorcycle broke down and the motor up in the head gasket in the head of the area of the motor, some parts broke, and on Christmas Eve, and thankfully I was next to a motor repair shop on a highway leading from one of the cities, and she was there visiting her cousins who owns the motor shop, and after her sister fed me food from their little restaurant, she asked some questions of my service, volunteer work, and she invited me to her land for Christmas, meet all of her family, and I was sleeping in a hammock in the living room with grandma and uncles. And anyway, here's where the peel is. That 2 days ago, Pastor Nahum and I built this little wall here because we're going to put a peel right here and right in this area so that the ladies can wash using this water. And the water at the well that you just saw, or was just that comes down here in this tube. It's fed in here with this Pepsi bottle that I rigged up. Because they before they just had the tube and they kept breaking it and cutting it and pushing the tube in. So I heated this end up so it doesn't split anymore, so that this stick, the plastic, plugs up the water when they're not using it. And take it out. And it goes into the funnel, which sends water into the peeler there. And the ladies wash clothes here on the rocks. Because the upper peel up there, again, it's higher than the level of the well, so we need to devise a way to get the water gravity fed down there, or electricity. Some neighbors are thinking about electricity, but we think it's best to use the old-fashioned ways. And so the thought here, if we had some sponsored or mission team that would want to come down, you can set up your tents here or sleep in hammocks, and right here, starting here where my foot is, in this tree, and up here around, starting with a rock wall about 3 feet high here, and it'll come down to about 7 feet high as we walk across here, about 3 feet, 4 feet thick of all these loose rocks, and get some rebar and put rebar and cement the rocks and build a water reserve right next to this big rock here to the left, and build a rock wall all the way over to these roots here. And then, because these roots are getting eroded, these 100-year-old 5 mango trees, you can see their roots are being eroded and exposed. So fill those right up all along here, fill it up with rocks and cement to keep the erosion from happening with this very fertile soil. So all along here, fill it in with rocks and cement up to now we're getting up to 3 feet high here, up to this tree where you can see it's eroding, and fill that in with rocks up to right there, and then back down across here is where the rock wall, it'll be about coming in about 3 feet high here, and then in the creek it'll be 6 to 7 feet high. And then in the middle of the creek, build 2 concrete posts, design 2 concrete pillars with maybe some angle iron and some creative rubber tubing with a sliding door for when it's a high rainy season, so we don't get extra flooding around the outer areas of the dam, so that it makes more erosion. And during the dry season, shut the doors and collect. So this is where the second dam will be. We just showed you where the first dam will be. And then the third dam on this property is thought to be down here, where it's a big mango tree, so the roots. So the idea is to along here is to fill this in again with rocks and cement to keep the soil, this rich soil, from being eroded up to here. And then I'm 6 feet tall here now, and I'm down underneath the level of the base of the tree. So between these two trees is the channel for the creek, and is to build about 8, 10 foot high dam here, and then follow it with a rock wall over to that tree, up to the gate where the people walk through from visiting property. So we'll be here under about 9, 10 feet of water, and all these roots will be underwater. We'll be underwater here, and that tree that's down up there will be underwater by 3 feet, and this will be a little lagoon and a place for fish and swimming, and for tilapia, bass, and around it we have picnic tables and visiting teams, and to come and experience the life of the Indians in the outback where there's no electricity, and help a family of the natives improve their land, and honor the environment. And with these dams as well, when the rains come, all of the leaves and all of the organic material that gets washed down to the ocean will be collected in these dams. And in the drier season, when the water recedes a bit, that extra mud and leaves that could be used for organic materials for trees and plants and edible things, healthy food. So come with your ideas, come with your thoughts, and with your resources and a heart to serve, and let's fulfill the United Nations Millennium Development Goals and Matthew 25:31 through 46. And then remember Matthew 26:1 through 16. Hola, ¿qué está haciendo? ¿Cómo se llama? ¿Cómo te llama? Usted es el primo de Marinela. ¿Sí? ¿Cómo te llama usted? ¿Ah? Nicholas. No? A very shy boy. He's been following me, wondering what I'm doing, what the gringo is doing. www.theparsonspost.com. Working towards honoring the Millennium Development Goals number 7, objective number 7, number 1, and number 8. All of the 8 objectives of the Millennium Development Goals. Honorable objectives for all of humanity to understand and to work towards together. We invite YYM Ticos to join us as well, and direct natural resources to creating abbeys of work and meditation and prayer. In the name of Aslan, Narnia is his name, of course, in this earth, and Jesucristo. Through his blood, and his sacrifice, and his resurrection that we have life. And have the joy of knowing Genesis 6:6, the broken heart has a healed heart, and loves all of his creation. The source is one, and the source is three, and together we plant the moringa tree, and let the water flow and the songs resound, joyous